Right, back again. It's been a while, hasn't it, since you've seen one of these things from me. So I hope the shock of seeing me again in sound and vision hasn't proven to be too great a strain for you. Number of things really I wanted to touch on in this brief vlog. First of all, I just wanted to say a word of thanks to everybody who'd left some very kind and touching comments follow on the Tangled website following the recent death of my father. Very, very grateful for that, and I really can't begin to appreciate how kind and helpful I found those various messages. That's the first thing. Second thing, I wanted to also say a very big public welcome and acknowledgement of thanks to the ever increasing band of Tangled writers that we have. I'm so proud of the fact that we do have such a fantastic team of people, and you know, from Dee down in Australia to Paddy over on the west coast of the States, and basically all parts in between across the UK. I just think we've got a brilliant team of people, and I hope you're enjoying the fact that there's all these various different insights being offered by this very talented group of people. So welcome to the new writers. I think you're doing a great job, and the core team as well, of course, continue to produce brilliant material. So and my job is just to try and, I guess, keep it all hanging together so that it looks fairly presentable. We have had a few problems in the last week or so, last couple of weeks actually, on the Squarespace site, and I'm trying to deal with that, and you just have to bear with me on that one. So that's those couple of bits and pieces out of the way. The next thing to say is that I really hope to bring back Tangled Talk Radio, hopefully this week. I know Mike Cunningham has flagged up an alternative to this, which I'll certainly have a look at. But in the meantime, I'm probably going to stick with Talk Radio insofar as I'm aware of the fact there's going to be a lot of technological improvements with it, which might make it much better and more interactive and easier for everybody. So just watch this space. I hope to maybe get a show together for Thursday night. Obviously, I don't have the same sort of pressures on me I have had in recent weeks. So let's hope that that can happen, and I'll put it in the blog and let you know. The topic for my sermon today is inevitably the events that have happened here in Northern Ireland over the past few weeks, namely the establishment of a devolved government containing terrorists and Democrats. Now, I know I've covered it on the blog numerous times, certain aspects of this, and you probably know where I'm coming from. However, there's a slightly different point I wanted to take and just explore with everyone, because I think it's relevant outside of Northern Ireland as well. And it concerns, if you like, the essence of democracy itself. Vladimir Putin, the thug in charge of Russia, recently said that he wanted the Russian media to produce output that was at least 50% or more favourable towards government policy. What else have you got to expect from a KGB thug and a country itself which has got such a totalitarian background? But I'll tell you that Putin would not be put out were he here in Northern Ireland and discovered an assembly which is getting not 50% favourable media coverage, but 100% media coverage. Even George Orwell didn't plan for that one. And yet that's what's happening. The fourth estate, those independent seekers of truth and justice in the press and on TV and the radio, all seem to have got themselves charged up with the idea that what has happened is just universally positive and good, and therefore there can be no dissent from it. But there must be dissent in any democratic situation. There must be space for people to oppose democratically. There must be provision made for those who wish to criticise and condemn and to point out the failings that exist within a system. But that does not exist here. We have an assembly containing an executive in which all the parties are agreed to the basis on which the government itself has been established, even though that basis is extremely controversial. You know, we hear enough of people saying that anthropogenic global warming is a fact, and we're also told that power sharing in Northern Ireland with terrorists is also a fact, and we just have to get on with it. But a lot of people don't think that. You know, at the last election, a third of people didn't really bother voting. Do we assume that all of those people are just so happy that they decided not to turn out to vote? We know that many people also spoiled their votes, and people voted for the Democratic Unionist Party on the basis they wouldn't go into power with the IRA's delegates. My point is that there needs to be a voice provided for opposition, and that is basically gone here. The voice for opposition you'll hear is in the likes of Tangled Web and other sites which do take up issue with the great and the good in the Stormont Assembly. And, you know, I think it was Thomas Jefferson, that great American, who once said that the best government is that which governs least. I believe that to be intuitively right as well. We need politicians spending less time interfering in our affairs, less time controlling what we do. And yet here, we have an assembly and a local government which, believe you me, is bristling at the opportunity of interfering in our lives and interfering in every aspect of what we do. And yet there's no, if you like, there's no opportunity for those of us who oppose that to say anything. So we're muted, except through cameras like this and through the World Wide Web. So all I can say is thank God for the internet. And isn't it great that we have this opportunity to actually speak out? Because in this increasingly totalitarian so-called peace process in Northern Ireland, the voice for dissent has basically ceased to exist. And I think that's something which augurs very badly for the future, because a society that does not allow dissent will, in my view, inevitably curtail freedom and liberty. And if such things are the price to be paid for peace, then I'm afraid it's a peace not worth having. Thanks. Speak to you soon.